Good morning. Thank you for joining us. With this being the second highest year for billion-dollar disasters in our country, how's the American Red Cross responded?
Well, the 2024 year has been extremely challenging for us as a disaster relief agency. We saw tens of thousands of families turn to us for help and comfort and care to help them begin their recovery journey after they've been displaced because of a disaster. This year alone, we had 5 hurricanes that made landfall in the Gulf Coast, while at the same time managing wildfire outbreaks all across the West Coast, tornadoes in the central of the U.S., and now we're even seeing wildfires in the Northeast, if you will believe that. So it's been an incredibly challenging and busy year for us. We're seeing this happen time and time again. Unfortunately, it feels like every year is a new record or an unprecedented number of disaster relief operations or disasters that impact families. And so as an organization, we're really looking at how do we continue to deliver the Red Cross mission when we see the number of disasters increasing significantly and the support that families need to recover it's becoming larger and larger over time.
What are the specific impacts you're seeing on families?
So many families, after a disaster have to deal with the stress and the uncertainty of what is their next step. And for a lot of people, the next big step, especially when they're at a Red Cross shelter, is finding safe, affordable, sustainable housing. And unfortunately, in some cases, what we're seeing is families are being impacted not by one disaster, but by multiple disasters. So we have families that evacuated and were being supported by the American Red Cross from Hurricane Idalia. That was well over a year ago. And those families were making plans. They were trying to find places for their families to stay, safe places for them to establish roots again and rejoin their community. Many of those families finally found homes, only then to have those homes devastated by Hurricane Helene. So put you in the shoes of that family. You finally have a place to go. You finally have that hope of your next step. And now Mother Nature is taking it away again, and you're starting from scratch all over again to figure out what your next step is going to be. And we see that across the U.S. way more times than we want to.
And how is the Red Cross and other emergency agencies coping with the challenge?
We say all the time, disaster is a team sport. It's not just about the American Red Cross. It's about all of our partners that show up to communities when they need us the most after a disaster. This year, we're responding now to twice as many disaster relief operations as we did over 10 years ago. So we're seeing this kind of impact time and time and time again. We're also seeing impacts in places that historically we've not been challenged to respond to. We think about wildfires, we think about the West Coast, we think about hurricanes on the East Coast. But this year alone, there were communities in New Mexico that were impacted not once, but twice because of disasters. The first was a wildfire, the second was a flood. So it isn't just about these coastal communities anymore. It isn't about historically where we've responded. This climate crisis is creating disasters in places that we have not seen them before, and it's challenging us as well as other organizations to make sure that we're present and ready to deliver the Red Cross mission.
How can people across the country help those in need during this holiday season?
So a lot of folks want to give, and we're so grateful for the support that the American public provides to our organization each and every day. We would ask that you consider donating and giving financial resources to our organization. No amount is too small for a family who has lost everything. Giving Day is coming up on December 3rd. It's a great day to support your local charities and maybe consider support to the American Red Cross as well. You can roll up your sleeve and donate blood. You can raise your hand and volunteer. There are so many ways for you to engage with the American Red Cross, and all you have to do is go to redcross.org to find any of those opportunities.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me.